I think it's very important you watch this video first. I think it's crucial. Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Melanie Rodriguez. I upload videos every Monday and Thursday. Every Monday and Thursday. I thought I would do a little PSA for those of you thinking of starting Invisalign. I think it's very important you watch this video first. I think it's crucial. So, I'm making my coffee right now. I think the first thing that's important is decide if you can afford it and how much you want it. Because some places you can go to a dentist or you can go to an orthodontist. Definitely go to an orthodontist. I don't remember why, but you do need to go to an orthodontist instead of a dentist, even though a dentist will, I think, be cheaper, I think it was. Now, I decided to do this when I was 20. Yeah, when I was 20, and I decided I would either do this or try to buy a new car, and I chose my teeth because at the time I thought I was going to be a dental hygienist. Obviously I'm not. Decided school was not for me after years and years of trying. I took the same math class like 6 years in a row, including high school, and I just barely passed it in my final year of college. So like obs, that didn't work out. So I decided, but you know, I'd already started it, and my insurance did not cover it because it's considered a cosmetic procedure, or something cosmetic. So my insurance didn't cover it and I had to pay in cash. So I had to pay half of it in cash up front right away as like a sort of down payment. And I think I was really bougie. Not bougie makes it sound like it was a good thing. I was like really poor. I had two jobs at 2 different golf courses, and so I brought in my down payment. Part of it was on one card, I think one was on another card, and the rest of it was in single dollar bills. And now when I went in for my consultation, I didn't really know what to ask. So I think number one, the most important thing you need to do is decide if you can afford it and how bad you want it, because it can take a while and it can be really costly. Number two is to make sure you write down the questions you want to ask ahead of time. This is so important. This is something I did not do. Write down all the questions you have, and they, like where I went, at least they were so kind and so sweet, and everybody was basically supermodels, so that was cool. And so I trusted them with my face. So write down any questions you have and get them answered. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because at the end of the day, it's really expensive and you want to know what you're getting yourself into. I didn't. Luckily, they took really good care of me every step of the way, but I don't know if it'd be the same in every situation. So definitely write down any questions you have, get them answered before you go in there and make the down payment and sign the little contract that they have you sign. So I go in and I bring in my down payment and we started. So they're going to take impressions, and then it's really uncomfortable to take impressions of your teeth. If you know, it's kind of like getting your teeth cleaned. You have to go in and get the x-rays, and they put those plates that kind of poke, and it's not the greatest, but I think on average, I think I was the most comfortable at the orthodontist than I've ever been at the dentist. I don't know why, but I was so comfortable there, and they really just did their best to make sure I was comfortable. It was just like they knew what they were doing. Like for once in my life, like where I was going to get treatment, they knew exactly what to do, and they took really good care of me. And they're always so sweet. These girls have known my life. And I'm kind of gonna miss going in every 6 weeks and being like, so here's what happened now, ladies. Like these ladies had been with me through breakups and makeups, engagements, and moving. I've moved all around, and yeah, they're great. I go in and I get the impressions done, and that takes a little bit of time. I don't think it took any more than maybe 25 minutes tops. They take the impressions, they send them off to the company to have your first molds made, and they'll decide if they need to add buttons. And what the buttons do, it's just like it kind of reminds me of when you go to the nail salon and you're getting those fake nails put on, and they put it under the light, and then they're like dry, good to go, if that makes sense. So they put like a little button of plastic, and then they dry it with a little light, and then that helps the aligner move your teeth better. Now mine were pretty not pretty bad, but kind of at the end of the spectrum, I guess, of what they're willing to treat. So I had to get the buttons on pretty much right away. Not in my first appointment, but I think a few weeks down the line. And so you go in for your appointments every 6 weeks, and they give you like 2 to 3 sets at a time, depending on how you're doing. And every time I'll go in for a checkup, and they would just kind of like peek around, see how things are moving, make sure the aligners were fitting well. Now, I did this for about a year, would it have been? A year, maybe a year and a half. And I decided that I was moving to Georgia. Actually, I think it was less than a year. I ended up deciding that I was going to move to Georgia. And this was kind of in the middle of my treatment, or like the tail end of my treatment. So I went in, told them I was gonna move, and they said they would give me the rest of my aligners. I think it was like, 3, maybe 4 sets of aligners, and I could just take them with me and then continue making the payments, because you make your down payment and then you just make payments every month or every 2 weeks until you pay it off. And so I could just keep making the payments while I was there. So I was like, great, because obviously I couldn't fly back every 6 weeks. That would be too expensive. And I didn't really want to start getting treated somewhere else. And so I ended up moving to Georgia. I wore my aligners. I was making the payments. And then I kind of got lazy with it. And you guys, this is so important. Number 3, do whatever they tell you to do. If they're telling you to wear these all day long, you wear them all day long, because you will lose your progress, and you can't like backtrack, and you will lose your progress. You need to get, if you're gonna eat or something, I think they're called wisps. They are disposable toothbrushes. Get those. I know they're not good for the planet, but unless you can carry a toothbrush with you to work, get the wisps, because I was on the golf course and I could just like eat, brush my aligners out, brush my teeth out, spit, and then, throw the wisp away in the trash can. And so it was really handy to have. I really recommend those, because you don't want your teeth to get too yellow. And obviously you guys probably will not have yours for 3 to 4 years like I did. It was my own fault. So I left. My teeth started, I wasn't wearing them every night because I was doing things. And so I would forget to have them in. And like for days, maybe weeks at a time. And then they started to shift back. So I called my old place and I asked what I should do, and they said I should, unless I'm gonna move back or can fly back regularly for treatment, then I should try to find somewhere where I was living in Georgia to take my case. So I went into this one place, and I went in, and it was like not as swanky, not as like comfortable feeling, I guess, as where I'd been going here in Arizona. And so I was like definitely partial. But I went in, and it seemed like a really nice facility, and I go in for a consultation, and they tell me that my estimate is going to be about $1,000 off of what I would have paid in total for my Invisalign. Now, I was still paying off my original Invisalign, even though I ruined my own progress. I was still paying that off, and they wanted to charge $4,000 just to reopen my case. And I was like, okay, well, no, like I'm not gonna pay to, fix just a couple weeks, like essentially pay for it all over again, and I'm not even done paying for it yet. So I was just like, you know what? No, like I wasn't a dental hygienist at that point. I was officially done with school, officially. You can't make me go back. I just had to roll with it for a while, for several months, maybe like 4 to 6 months went by. And I was wearing them, and they were like, is at the point where they were kind of moving my teeth back wrong. I ended up, beyond my own control, moving back to Arizona. And so I picked up treatment again here, and I told them everything that had happened to me while I was in Georgia and Florida and all of these things. And so I started treatment again. We took new impressions. We got it all done. Hi, you guys. So yes, I had to finish filming this on a different day. We got some news, so I had to take a break from filming, but I did just think of this. One of the most important things to do when you are getting Invisalign is also, please know that your mouth is gonna hurt when you first get it. Even if you don't get the buttons on, it's going to hurt. When I started, I was in college, and my mouth was so sore I couldn't even talk. I remember I was doing a project for bio, and I was like, please don't make me talk, because I'm in pain. But yeah, It's also very important to make sure you know what is included and what isn't. Now, something that I think wasn't included for mine was if I broke or lost one of the retainers, I had to get new ones, and I had to pay for those out of pocket. Well, I paid for everything out of pocket, but I got a set of retainers that I have now, and they're a little bit thicker than the Invisalign retainers that you're getting throughout your treatments. But I would ask what's included, and I would also ask when you go in if they do a cash discount, because that's what I got when I went in and originally was paying. I did ask if they had any discounts because I was poor. I was a college kid who chose, and it made sense at the time since I was going to be a dental hygienist to have, you know, pretty beautiful teeth, but I didn't know. I didn't ask this until like the way end, like probably this year, because I had this tooth was chipped, and because it was chipped, I really wanted it filed down. I wanted all my teeth filed down because they had, you know, like the ridges in them. Nothing too bad, nothing too noticeable, but like to me, I was like, oh, I just wish they were all the same, you know, the same, whatever you call it. Yeah, but they did do that, and it was included in my Invisalign to have my teeth evened out and have this. It was a tiny little chip, but I hated it since I was a child. And then at the end, they did all the filing. They filed the bumps off, the buttons off, and then they gave me my aligners, and that was that. So I gotta say, I 10 out of 10 recommend getting Invisalign, like 10 out of 10. You have to go in and they will do a consultation to make sure you qualify, because sometimes if your teeth are too discombobulated, you have to get braces first, and then you can get Invisalign because it's just too much for the plastic to do, which is totally okay. On the one hand, I wish I had gotten braces, but I know at the time this is exactly what I wanted, so I don't regret it at all. I don't regret it at all. And also, when they filed my teeth, it got rid of my lisp. I had a little bit of a lisp, and it would kind of like come and go, but yeah, that's gone, so I love that. So thank you for watching. I hope that you will subscribe and hear more of what I have to say and any of my more like natural tips and tricks. I do have a video coming for you guys shortly about a scrub that goes really, really well with that waxing video I showed you guys a while ago, my holy grail, I call it. This is the only body scrub that matters. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.